1. The mirror in the hotel room. Last summer, I was driving cross-country, and after 10 hours on the road, I pulled into one of those sketchy little motels that look like they haven't been updated since the 70s. The lobby smelled like cigarettes and old carpet, but the guy at the desk handed me a key and told me to enjoy my stay like everything was normal. I walked into the room, and the first thing I noticed was this massive floor-to-ceiling mirror covering almost the entire wall opposite the bed. At first, I didn't think much of it, though I did get a weird chill looking at it. The whole room felt stale, like nobody had been inside for years, even though the sheets were tucked tight and the lights worked fine. I crashed on the bed, too tired to care, but sometime around 2 a.m., I woke up to use the bathroom. As I walked past the mirror, I froze. My reflection wasn't moving right. It lagged behind me, like it blinked a fraction too late, and when I tilted my head one way, the reflection tilted the other. My stomach dropped. I leaned closer, telling myself it was just exhaustion messing with me, but then it smiled. I swear to God, my reflection smiled, even though my mouth was completely still. I panicked, grabbed my backpack, and ran out of the room without even bothering to check out. When I went back in the morning to grab gas, I drove past where the motel had been, and there was nothing but an empty, weed-covered lot. 2. AITA for refusing to go to my dad's funeral? When I was 7, my dad left. No warning, no explanation, just gone. He started a new family in another state and, from what I later learned, never paid child support, never called, never even sent a birthday card. My mom raised me on her own, and though she never badmouthed him, I grew up knowing that to him, I simply didn't exist. Fast forward 20 years. I'm 27 now, working, building my own life, and I get a call from one of my half-siblings, kids he had with his real family. They told me he died unexpectedly and that they wanted me at the funeral. I said no. How do you mourn someone who wasn't there for you? They started guilt-tripping me immediately, saying family is family and I'd regret not showing up. But honestly, how could I regret not grieving a stranger? My half-brother even said he loved you in his own way, which made me laugh bitterly. If love is never calling, never showing up, never even acknowledging my existence, then no thanks. Now the whole side of his family is blasting me on social media, calling me cold and heartless. But to me, going would feel like a lie. Why should I stand over a casket and pretend to cry for a man who treated me like I died the day he walked out? 3. The whispers in the woods. I grew up in a small rural town surrounded by thick woods, the kind where the trees seem endless and the nights are pitch black. Everyone in town knew the rule: don't go into the forest after dark. The elders said the trees remembered voices and that they'd call you deeper in if you weren't careful. As a kid, I thought it was just a creepy story to keep us out of trouble. But when I was 16, my friends dared me to prove it wrong. We sneaked out one night and sat just inside the tree line, waiting for midnight. At first, it was normal, crickets, the occasional owl. Nothing scary. But around 12:30, the air went still. No bugs, no wind. Then I heard it, my mom's voice. She had died 2 years earlier in a car accident, but it was unmistakably her, soft and urgent, calling my name. I froze. My friends didn't hear it, but I swear I did. I walked a few steps forward before realizing the voice wasn't coming from one place. It was echoing all around me, bouncing from tree to tree, as if the whole forest was whispering in unison. I bolted, my heart slamming in my chest, and when I finally made it home, I still heard faint whispers in my ears for hours afterward. Even now, as an adult, I can't walk near those woods without feeling like something in there is still waiting for me to answer. 4. AITA for quitting my job without notice. I worked at a small company where everyone knew everyone, and at first it felt fine. But over time, my boss started treating me like her personal assistant. She'd pile on tasks way outside my role, expect me to answer emails at midnight, and constantly take credit for my work during meetings. I brushed it off for months, telling myself I was gaining experience. But the breaking point came one Monday morning when she screamed at me in front of the entire team because I forgot to bring her coffee.
Not my job.
Not even close. She humiliated me, and everyone just stared awkwardly at their screens. Something inside me snapped. I walked straight to my desk, packed my belongings into a box, left my badge on her desk, and walked out without saying a word. No 2 weeks notice, no explanation. Since then, she's been texting me saying I ruined her schedule and workflow, and a few coworkers have messaged me calling me unprofessional. But honestly, why should I show courtesy to someone who never respected me in the first place? I gave that job everything and got treated like garbage. Walking out was the most freeing thing I've ever done. 5. The phone in the lake. A few months ago, I went fishing at this lake with some buddies. We'd been there dozens of times. It was our usual weekend hangout spot, nothing unusual about it. That day, though, when I cast my line, it snagged something heavy under the water. I thought it was a log, but after a struggle, I reeled up an old smartphone covered in grime and algae. We laughed about it at first, but curiosity got the better of us. Later, we put it in rice, cleaned it up, and against all odds, it turned on. The phone was nearly empty, no contacts, no texts, just one single photo in the
Gallery.
The picture was of 3 men standing by the shore of a lake. At first it was just eerie, because it looked so recent. But then we looked closer, and realized those 3 men were us, wearing the exact same clothes we had on that day. The date on the file said it was taken 5 years earlier.